Bicycle Books is Charleston's premier local bookstore on Upper King Street in downtown Charleston. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, sponsored by the Kabrowski Law Firm, I sit down one-on-one with the owner of Blue Bicycle Books, Jonathan Sanchez. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Jonathan Sanchez.
Hi.
It's so good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be here. Well, I guess I'm here all the time. Good to have you here.
This is your shop.
Yeah.
And it's a beloved store here in downtown Charleston, the Blue Bicycle store.
Yeah.
Blue Bicycle Bookstore, that is. I went back and looked at your Charleston City paper anniversary essay.
Okay.
And you wrote this, in this particular paragraph, you said this quote, "I bought the store on January 1st, 2007. While a lot has changed, back then, the only new book we carried was Robert Rosen's A Short History of Charleston. It's hard to express how vital it was having a thriving business to start with. Lee showed me the accounting and how to file sales tax returns. Jim continued to pick up the occasional shift for free and came along on some buying trips. For me, for my first year, we pretty much only sold books they had bought." 11 years ago to right now.
Yeah.
What does Blue Bicycle Books mean to you?
Well, it means everything to me. I mean, this is where I spend my days. And personally, it's my identity. It's like a giant reflection of the books I like and the people who work for me and the books they like, and we all work together. And so it's sort of our own, place of, and everybody has their own workplace, but most don't have a workplace that's surrounded by sort of these objects that are so intricate and
Right.
so curated to sort of have all this meaning. It's a lot. Sometimes I take it for granted, but I don't think I take it for granted too much.
And you talk about things that people like here in this bookstore. Let me take you to something that's coming up recently that's very notable here in town. YALL Fest.
Yeah.
When you look at that, what goes through your mind when you think of YALL Fest?
Well, we're only 2 weeks out.
Right.
So there's a lot of stress, honestly, for me, because we started it and we helped put it on, and we have a great team of. First of all, I have a great team here at the bookstore.
Yes.
My own staff. I have a great team of YALL Fest employees that work for that nonprofit
Right.
that I also run, and then I have an amazing team of authors who are on our board and help pick the roster of other authors, and so it's a great community of people to be working with. It's a great thing to be a part of. It's a great day that for me is not just a day, it's a whole year.
Oh, yeah.
That I never stop thinking about.
As a matter of fact, you told the city paper this recently, quote, "Everyone, as far as the peer of the founders, has worked really hard to put together a terrific list of participating authors. Quote, we have a lot of new authors, a lot of diverse voices and backgrounds." Who are the new authors, the diverse voices, and the backgrounds?
One, we've got Jacqueline West is new this year. She's going to actually be at James Simmons School, which I'm really excited about. And she's a middle grade author. We're trying to reach out to more local school kids.
Sure.
For a young adult book festival, ironically, a lot of our fans are actually a little bit older, and they're usually from out of town. So we're trying to get more school kids to come to this great festival. Raquel Palacio, RJ Palacio is a woman of color, and she wrote the book Wonder.
Right.
We have Natasha Ingen, who is Asian, and she is, I want to say she's Vietnamese, but I hate to speak off the top of my head. And she has a terrific new book that we're excited about, and she's going to be talking with James Patterson, who's a huge name. And I take very little credit for the actual names that come, the people who help me do a great job of inviting people.
And when I went back on your website, obviously you all host 200 authors a year, I believe?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
I hate this, is a silly question, but what is your favorite author that really describes you and your business?
David Sedaris is my favorite. He's coming next April to the Gilliard, and being from North Carolina, he's my favorite. There's a guy named Grady Hendrix that we haven't had in the store this year, ironically. He grew up in Charleston. We did do an event with him at the library.
Yeah.
Super funny writer. Wrote a really weird, cool book called My Best Friend's Exorcism that's set here in town. He's a big horror guy. I'm not a big horror guy, but he makes me interested in it.
Yeah.
So those are probably two that I would really identify with.
Wow. You talk about, obviously, North Carolina.
Yeah.
When you think of Jonathan Sanchez, who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm a dad, probably first, husband. I'm a writer, reader. Probably need to do more reading so I could be more of a writer. And I'm definitely the guy in this bookstore. So all those things tend to fight with each other all the time. I'd like to find a little more time for the writer side to fight back. I think we're always trying to find an answer to that question, right?
Right, absolutely. And if you could write right now, what would you be writing?
Well, I've been working on a book that I'm pretty excited about. I tend to find the first 3 months of the year is my only writing time, so I'm kind of I've resigned myself to the fact that it will be January before I do any writing. I am actually writing a piece for Pechacucha,
right,
which you would be great for. Have you done Pechacucha?
Oh, never.
Oh,
I've heard of it.
It'd be fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we can get your name on the list.
Please.
But and I'm going to be talking about Catcher in the Rye and the show Stranger Things.
Right.
Some sort of weird mashup of those two things. So I'm writing that script right now, so that's pretty happy about that.
Wow.
So didn't work on it this morning. I need to work on it yesterday. I need to work on it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously we're here at the Blue Bicycle Books,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking around at all the sections.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the Blue Bicycle section?
In terms of like books about blue bicycles?
Yes.
Ironically, there's quite a few bicycle books these days because
Cool.
there's like it's become sort of a hipster fetish, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
People are more into beautiful bikes and city bikes, than when I was a kid. Well, anyway, and so there's actually some up front. Not we're probably a little low on them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You obviously
Not all blue bikes.
Blue, right. But you talk about the bicycles. Obviously, Charleston's huge as far as the bicycling
Sorry.
community. And when you look at Charleston from the time you started with Boomer's Books to now,
Mm-hmm.
what is the biggest difference about Charleston in generalities?
Well, I think it is not very sleepy anymore. It used to be kind of sleepy town, and it's just sort of wide awake all the time, for good or for worse. I would say that there seems to be an emphasis on, as someone who works in, a lot of my customers are tourists,
Right.
and we do a lot of events.
Right.
For those visitors and for locals, kind of an event-based town. People come in for weddings,
Oh, yeah.
or special moments, special meals. So not as much of an emphasis on sort of day-to-day life maybe downtown anymore. Things like hardware stores and grocery stores closing. So that's probably the biggest change for me. Yeah.
You talk about change.
Yeah.
If you could write a book about the future of Blue Bicycle Books, what would it be in the title?
The future of Blue Bicycle Books. I don't know. Well, I have all these weird fantasies that if I could buy the building and have all the space in the world, I would have like all these, exactly the books I want, all the time, all time. Probably a lot of sort of fun printing presses and things like that I would somehow have the time and patience to learn how to work and fix, and lots of ink and paper and
Right.
real things. So that would probably be involved in it. And I guess if maybe I have young children, maybe I could write a cool fantasy involving that, the paper and all that.
Sure.
Printing presses and weird 60s Xerox machines and stuff like that,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Sanchez, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate
Oh
this.
my gosh, thank you. I really appreciate you coming and doing this.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.